Hey, good morning. This is Chuck Angler at Spring Piston Rifle Fever. I just wanted to give you a little update on this Hatsan 125. See if I can back up a little bit. It's such a big rifle. This is a tank. This rifle is all about power. And if it has accuracy, it's going to be great. So, I was thinking about when you usually put your, the scope mount rail, it's maybe not too bad, but it is off just a tiny bit to the left. I look like this, it's just barely off. But I was thinking last night, usually when I put my scope on, because of the way the scope rings are, unless you get like a BKL mount, scope mount, usually your scope is a little off to the side. So I just thought, well, I'll put my scope on once and clamp it on and see what it looks like. Actually, it looks like it's right dead center, so maybe this scope rail here being off just a tiny little bit is going to put the scope right down the middle. So I did do the pellet to boar test, and I'm sorry if you wanted to see that and did not. I did push some pellets through, and actually the barrel was mostly tight, except for there was one loose area. There was one loose area down here where it was loose, but most of it was tight. And then the choke was very tight at the very end. So after I put the pellets through there, I had cleaned the barrel first and put the pellets through. I decided to do a chronograph test. And I think it was like about 1375 with a Crosman Premier hollow point pellet that I blasted out of this guy. And it was loud. The next shot was over 1,000 feet per second. And then it was in the upper 900s, like close to 1,000. Then it finally settled down. Every shot was around 957 to 960, which is 29 foot-pounds of energy with a Crosman Premier hollow point pellet. That's a lot of energy. And some pellets might even test even higher with the softer skirts, like the JSB or the Air Arms pellets that have the skirts that fit tighter, or even the H&N Field Target Trophies. They don't have a soft skirt, but they're solid and they're got wide skirts. They're not as narrow skirted like on a Crosman Premier hollow point pellet, if that makes sense. So this is still a pretty nice rifle. And I got this actually for, I'm going to say like Travis from Oh Shoot says, 165 Donalds. I thought, for 165 Donalds, if this thing shoots straight and has a ton of power, this could be a lot of fun. And the open sights, they look decent. I had put a few pellets through that at close range last night, and was doing decent. The trigger's a little heavy. I'm going to have to get an aftermarket ballpoint pen spring and put it in, just like I did in the Hatsan 95. You can check that video out also about me adding that spring. I believe I put a video up on it. I'll check and see, and if I did, I'll put a link in the description. Front sight is the red fiber optic, with the rear sight being green fiber optic. I can't get the camera up there that close that well where I'm sitting. It's not showing well, sorry about that. But this is a big long rifle. This is not a kid's rifle. Cocking is easy for me, but it's not going to be for everybody. When I cock this rifle, I pull down fast and quick. I don't notice much spring twang in it, but eventually I'm going to go through this rifle and clean it up. After I cleaned my Hatsan 95 and put a little molly grease in there, I think it made the spring a little more slippery. or the piston sill, and the piston maybe a little more slippery. Anyhow, that developed just a little bit more energy after I did that, and I did not over grease it when I did that. So it was just purely good lube that helped make a better seal and help things move a little better. So you like this video, give it a like, give it a subscribe. And like I said, I'm going to go do some shooting today, and if it works out well, I will definitely report on it. So first off, I'm just going to start off with open sights, doing some can bashing, and then I'm going to put a scope on it. I'm probably just going to put their scope on to see how it is. Also, for the scope stop, see what I did? I turned that around because I think with this scope stop, when it's the other way around, there's too much sticking up there for it to get smashed down. But if you have it down low to the ground, it's not going to smash that. The biggest thing is probably to blue Loctiting your screws down here so they don't work up. Because if they work up and the scope rail is getting smashed right here from the rings, from the scope, it's not going to make it anyhow. So you like the video, give it a like. God bless. You have a great weekend.